Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am on the Isle of Mull once again. The weather is absolutely incredible and I've got a real treat for you in this episode because tomorrow morning I'm going to be heading over to the small island of Iona to check out the abbey and monastery there that was set up by St Columba when he arrived from Ireland and is credited with essentially bringing Christianity to Scotland. And it's also the burial place of many Scottish kings, including the famous Macbeth. Then after that, I'm going to find a secluded beach somewhere on the island and I'm going to wild camp overnight in my tent. I cannot wait. It's going to be one hell of an adventure. But first, I have to get my stuff packed so I'm ready to go first thing in the morning. Let's go on a wee adventure. Right, so it's organised chaos at the moment. I've got all my electrics, power banks charging, everything's sitting out, there's food, wine, whiskey, flask is filled. It's all a bit chaotic at the moment, but I'll get there for the morning. Now it's time to just sit back, relax and watch this sunset. I'll have a pint of Guinness. Well, good morning folks, and today is the day. Just making myself a bacon and egg wrap to get something in my belly. Everything's packed and then I'll get set off. Can't wait. Another beautiful day. Well, that's me just setting off from the campsite now. Backpack absolutely rammed full. It's pretty heavy and I've got a little cool bag as well with some ice blocks in it for my food later tonight. It's about a half-hour walk to Fionnphort. I just need to jump on the ferry, which is for foot passengers. I'm getting excited now. I'm looking forward to what lies ahead for the rest of the day. Well, I've arrived on Iona, that lovely little ferry across, and I've just picked up a few things at the shops. I'm going to head up to the Abbey, just walking through the nunnery right now. The Iona Nunnery is one of the best preserved medieval nunneries in Scotland, and one of the few that still survives in any recognisable form today. It was founded around 1200 by Ragnall, the son of Somerled, and his sister Bethoc became the first prioress, making this one of the earliest Augustinian foundations for women in the country. The buildings here were expanded over several centuries. You can still see the remains of the church and parts of the domestic buildings where the nuns lived and worked. The stonework with its pink granite is typical of Iona and gives the ruins a distinctive colour you don't see in many other monastic sites. During the medieval period, this would have been a busy religious community, with nuns involved in daily worship, teaching and running of the buildings and the land around them. But the site fell into decline after the Protestant Reformation in the 1500s, where monastic life in Scotland was largely dissolved. Today, what's left gives a clear sense of the layout and scale of the original complex, and it is one of the most complete examples of a women's monastic site anywhere in the Hebrides. So as you can imagine, during season in particular, this will be a busy place. It's a place where a lot of people come to pay pilgrimage. This is essentially where Christianity was born in Scotland. And whether you're a religious person or not, it's hard not to notice how significant this place is to the history, culture and landscape of what was to follow. Now the walk to the Abbey takes around about 15 minutes or so, and you pass the nunnery, we can walk through that, but there's also a graveyard here next to the oldest building on Iona, and this is a graveyard where many Scottish kings were laid to rest. Now this was the burial chapel of the MacDonald's Lords of the Isles. It was built in the 1100s and is the oldest intact structure on Iona. It's also located on the cemetery of kings, including Duncan and famously Macbeth from Shakespeare's fame. Now this monastery on the Isle of Iona was founded by St Columba in 563 AD, almost 2,000 years ago now, and it is essentially where Christianity started in Scotland. The original monastery was constructed shortly after he arrived, and over time it grew into a major religious and cultural hub. Now, whether you're religious or not, and I'm not a religious person, it's hard to fathom just how much his arrival and this place and this tiny island has influenced Scotland's rich history, its culture, its art and its politics in the 2,000 years that have since passed. It wasn't plain sailing for them because the Vikings, who were pagans and believed in the Norse gods, didn't take too kindly to this monastery, and they attacked it and destroyed it many times, killing many monks with them. But soon enough they were converted into Christianity as well, like much of Western Europe, and the old gods were replaced by the new. It's mind-bending to think about those things. Anyway, let's go and have a look inside. Well, that was absolutely incredible. The stonework, the detail when you see it there, the camera's never going to do it justice. It's quite incredible. Some building. And the historical significance for not just the little island of Iona, but Scotland as a whole is unimaginable. Anyway, it's a beautiful day. I'm going to stop at the community centre opposite, grab a quick ice cream and a cold drink before I find a secluded beach to wild camp on tonight. Alright. Now the beach I'm looking to go to is called Tray and Seal. That's about as close as I can get the pronunciation. And it basically means in Gaelic, white sandy beach. And it was my friend Mark and his Mrs Vicky. They've been here before. Vicky's originally from Oban, so knows the area well. And they told me if I'm going to stay on a beach, camp on it, make it this one. So that's the one I'm on the hunt for. But on Iona, you really are spoiled for choice. There's so many beaches, and you're maybe a 45-minute walk, half-hour walk from the harbour to get to them. Crystal clear waters, white sand, can't beat it. Just bear in mind this sort of northern section of the island, and you can go either side really, but you are going to be walking through working farms and fields, so I'm sure if you've got dogs it'll be leads on and all that kind of stuff. There's plenty of sheep staring at me right now. I cannot wait to get to this beach now. I'm only maybe 5 minutes away. It's only about a 15-minute walk from the Abbey. Now this isn't actually the beach, but wow, all the beaches along here look like paradise. Well, I think I've found it. It's like stepping back into an old deserted land or something. Wow. Look at the colour of that water. Look at these really old rocks. Look at all the patterns in them. Wow. Well, I think I found my spot. What a view I'm going to have from the tent. Now, I'm not sure if this is still Tray and Seal, the beach. There's that many little coves and bays along here, along this stretch of white sand, so I've no idea if this is still it or not. But I've hiked all the way along and I found this little spot here and it's going to be absolutely perfect. I'm pretty sweaty and I'm pretty roasting. I think a cold dip is in order. And see how clear this water is underneath. Look how clear that water is. It is crystal. I cannot believe how clear this water is. It is crystal clear. Wow. Oh, amazing. Well, to say that was refreshing is an understatement. So it is absolutely Baltic. I mean, freezing cold. It's like going into an ice bath. And like I've always said, after 30 seconds or so, your body soon adjusts and then you can just enjoy it. What a place this is. First time on Iona, I've heard nothing but good things, and so far it has definitely lived up to my expectations. Just loving it. Right, so the tent's all set up. Gonna have a brilliant view. I can't wait for the sun to set now. But I recently bought this tent. I treated myself to it. It's a 4-season tent and it's something I'll be able to take up onto the mountains with me. I'm planning to go back to Switzerland and then go to the Dolomites in Italy at some point as well, and I want to be able to camp with something reliable, it's nice and light, and I opted for the Hilleberg Acto tent. I've been looking at it for ages, so I thought, why not treat myself? But I'll give you a little tour inside. So one thing I really like about this tent, even though it's a one-man tent, you've got a nice big sort of vestibule area for all your stuff, which is quite handy. And then inside the tent itself, my sleeping bag, sleep system, plenty of space and height to sit up in it as well. You can see it is pretty tall when you step back from it. This is the first time I've set it up myself. Like I said, I just recently bought it and it took not even 5 minutes to set up, and that's without ever doing it before. It's literally one pole, self-standing, and I did add on the ground sheet as well, specifically for that tent, and I can leave that attached to the bottom of my tent. And it's perfect for Scottish sort of weather and conditions in the mountains as well, because you can set it up in the rain, snow, whatever, and because the inner fly is attached to the outer, you just put it up, get your things in, and that's you, and it won't get wet inside, unlike my last tent that you had to set up the inner mesh first and then put the fly on, which isn't really any good when it's raining. This is what I love about Scotland, especially the Highlands and the Islands. I've got this entire beach to myself, just secluded, you know. And Scotland's Highlands and the Islands are really a sort of true wilderness in a modern age, and that's what I love about it. I like the fact that we don't have Spanish weather, and I like the fact that we don't have the same sort of extreme weather that you get in a lot of other countries as well. You know, my family in Tasmania have lost houses due to massive forest fires. And we do get fires here. There's been fires recently up in the Highlands with the fields of heather going up the mountains and things like that. We do get it because people camp irresponsibly. But in reality, we don't get the forest fires like they do in LA. You know, we don't get hurricanes and tornadoes and devastating earthquakes that destroy entire cities. We're really lucky, actually, in Scotland, in my opinion, to have the weather that we do. Everyone says, oh, the weather's terrible, the water's freezing. Well, I'm telling you right now, I'd rather have this. And I'd rather have this peace and quiet, got a beach all to myself, because of those things, and because the majority of our population in Scotland lives in the central belt, about 85% of it. And the reality is, most of those people, when they've got 2 weeks off work, they would rather go to Spain or Turkey or whatever, and rightly so. I totally understand it, to be guaranteed some sun. And I think that's the thing that my lifestyle's been able to afford me, which I feel very grateful for, is I can chase the weather. So it could be raining and horrendous on the east coast of Scotland, but it could be beautiful and sunny up in the northwest. So I go to the northwest and I get days like this. And I know not everyone can do that, but if you expect the sun to come and find you in Scotland, you're sorely mistaken. You need to go looking for it. Anyway, I'm getting pretty hungry, so I reckon the fire's going to go on and some food. I really just want to have the time to take in the sunset when I'm not doing anything else at all, because I've got a feeling it's going to be pretty spectacular. I don't care what anyone says, there's no burger better than a burger made on fire. McDonald's and Burger King, eat your heart out. Slange. Right, here's the taste test. Oh my God. Oh, that might be the best burger I've ever ate. Even with the nasty cheese. I'm so scared in case I dropped it in the sand there. I'd still eat it. It's that good, but I did have a bit of fear there taking that over, I'm not going to lie. I've had a couple of drams of whiskey now, out of the old flask. Wow, that is fantastic. I'm going to eat this, put some music on, and just watch this incredible sunset. We're facing north. The sun's going to set right across there. What an amazing place this is. I love Iona. It's official. Well, what an incredible sunset, and it appears as though it's not totally finished yet, but we've just got enough light, and I don't care how old you are, marshmallows on the fire is an absolute must. You're never too old for a nice crispy burnt marshmallow on a fire. Oh, absolutely amazing. And one of my followers came over from Texas to Scotland last year, and she brought me some goodies, and one of them was Gourmet Village S'mores Coca, hot chocolate basically. So I've got the wee stove on. I'm going to make a wee hot chocolate and just enjoy the rest of this sunset. What a day. What a day. Well, a whole packet of marshmallows down. It's getting dark now. I think I'm going to retire to the tent. What an incredible day it has been discovering Iona. If I had a choice between doing this and, you know, staying in my flat that I used to live in Dundee, watching the TV tonight or whatever, I know what option I'm choosing every day of the week. Well, good morning, folks. It's about sort of 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just about making myself a little brew. I've got the Calgary Bay Isle of Mull coffee here, which is absolutely delicious, by the way. It's fantastic coffee. I'm going to have this. I'm going to let the sun come up properly, because the sun is rising, but it's not up properly yet. It did get a little bit damp last night. It was raining a little bit, so the outside of the tent's wet. I think I'm going to wait for the sun to come up a bit and dry it off before I get moving, but I'm in no rush really. Right, where's the inside of this cup to brew the coffee? I'll put that on just now. Where did I put that? And this is what I like about this tent. I'm really glad. I had a really good night's sleep in it, actually. It was really quiet. Wasn't a lot of movement with it at all. I mean, there wasn't a huge amount of wind, to be fair, but the tent itself is nice and quiet. Where is it? There. Got it. This little bit here, it's just like a sort of mini cafetiere cup, really. So you can brew your fresh coffee. I'll let it set for a couple of minutes. But yeah, I had plenty of room in here, which is great. I'm pretty tired, but I always are after a full day of beautiful fresh air, sun, beach, hike, cold water dip. Yeah, but it was fantastic. Absolutely loved it, and what a place to have a wild camp. And then when I get back to the campsite where my van is parked, I think I'll get some admin done, get my clothes washed and things like that before I leave, and then that's done. I've only got really one day left, so I'll wait and see what my plans are. That coffee is fantastic. Well, the sun's just started to come up now. What a place. I might be knackered, but It is stunning. Well, that's me all packed up, ready to go. Got a wee coo up here having his breakfast. And one thing that is really important, and I need to say it as well because we do have problems with it. If you do go wild camping in Scotland, please leave no trace. You should leave it the way you found it. Anything you carry in, you carry out. Always take a rubbish bag with you as well. This is proper wild camping. There's no such thing as wild camping in a camper van or a motorhome. It's not part of the Scottish Outdoor Access Code. People get confused about that all the time. You would never known there was a tent there and a fire on that beach. No rubbish. Just the way it should be. Bye bye Iona. I shall return. Well, that's me, just arrived back at the campsite. Back to the van. I'm pretty tired, I'm not going to lie. It's about an hour and a half each way for the actual walk itself, but it's quite good getting this big backpack on my back. It's going to help with my fitness. And I hope you've enjoyed coming on this wee adventure with me. If you have, please like, leave a comment, and if you've not done so already, subscribe to my channel. Thanks very much for watching. See you next week. Like and subscribe for more van life adventures.